What's specifically under the radar of the agencies in the national capital are, of course, 4 members of the PFI, all of them office holders who've been detained and are likely to be arrested now with PMLA cases slapped against them for alleged terror funding. So if you could just take our viewers through the details of that as well.
Well, certainly 4 office bearers of the PFI were arrested in the morning when the ED and the NIA conducted raids at the Shaheen Bagh area where the PFI headquarters were. PFI headquarters of the Delhi unit was sealed early in the morning, and Parvez, who is the Delhi chief of the PFI, was also raided, and he was taken by the NIA and ED to the Enforcement Directorate, where currently the questioning is happening, along with other 3 who are arrested, who are the office bearers. Now remember, earlier to these raids, we have been telling to our viewers that there have been different raids which were conducted at Parvez's residence, in which one tablet was seized, and in that particular tablet and the document that was seized, the agencies clearly found out that there have been connections as far as the chats between one of the political leader, as well as how there have been fundings which have been was involved. So certainly the ED and the NIA had information about how Parvez was involved. Remember, Delhi Police Special Cell arrested him as well earlier this year into the connections with the terror funding, as well as the NTCAA protest, as well as the JNU protest, and therefore the reason perhaps these documents which have been seized by the ED and NIA are very important, and therefore the reason perhaps he could be arrested under the PMLA Act or the UAPA Act if these documents prove to be right.
In fact, let me also go across to Vivek Karandalam, who's been monitoring developments very closely in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala, where the PFI actually took out a protest not very long ago following a series of raids also conducted in the state of Kerala. So Vivek, coming to you, what can you tell us? Because there was an attempt on the part of the PFI to actually blockade the national highway, and this followed the series of raids that have been conducted by the NIA as well as the ED in Kerala, which has been an epicenter for the PFI's activities for many years.
That's right, Siddharth. Today, remember, there was raids that's been conducted at 70 locations in 14 districts of the state. Now, also 18 PFI leaders, including the National Vice President and also senior leaders from Ernakulam, Thrissur, has been arrested by the NIA. Remember, this is a combined raid that's been conducted by the NIA, the ED, with the support of the central and the state police. Remember, the PFI, the Popular Front of India, has been in the dock ever since 2016 onwards. Remember, this organization was formed in 2007. Earlier it was SIMI, then NDF, and then it was PFI. Its political outfit is STPI. Remember, today morning from 4 o'clock onwards, the raids have begun in Aluva, in Thrissur, in Thiruvananthapuram. And today, when we actually went to the Thiruvananthapuram office where the raids were conducted, the office was closed and none of the officers were there. Office bearers were present at that point of time. Then we came to know that they are blocking the national highway, and when we went there, around 150 to 200 PFI leaders and small activists in Thiruvananthapuram was blocking the national highway for 20 minutes. I precisely asked the leader as what is the reason behind blocking the national highway. Why are you creating a problem, especially for the commuters? He said that we are an organization which is we are a registered organization. When the police can act at the behest of the central government, the BJP and the RSS, we have a democratic right to protest, and we are protesting in the most peaceful manner. But that said, remember, tomorrow there is a hartal that's been called by Popular Front of India. That's a dawn to dusk hartal from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and all the essential items have been removed. And what we understand is that vehicular movement will be prevented, and shops and establishments will also be closed. As far as the banning of PFI is concerned, yes, this question is being posed to the BJP and the RSS leaders a number of times. They said that once you get all the incriminating evidences that to prove that PFI is funding for terror activities, the organization will be banned. Back to you.
Right. So Vivek, Priyank as well as Aishwarya, we'd urge you to stay with us because it's been more than 12 hours now since the raids began in different parts of the country. As many as 11 states, more than 60 odd locations and more than 100 people apprehended by the authorities. Let's listen into these ground reports that have been sent in by reporters from different parts of the country.
Multi-agency raid, this is what we have been focusing on, and there have been multiple agencies like NIA, ED as well as the state police which is also helping the NIA and ED officials to carry out the searches. But before that, Parvez, the PFI head of the Delhi unit, has been brought here at the NIA headquarters. What it had happened that over the period of a few years, there have been various involvement of this particular unit, the PFI, which has emerged in various anti-national activities. We have seen that how the role came on the riots which happened in the national capital. Their role also came out in various other protests which turned violent. Over the period of time, the agencies were looking at the funding which was being received by PFI. There were dubious transactions, there were a few transactions which was certainly not under the radar of the Indian agencies which came later on. That's why there was a need of carrying out a simultaneous raid, because they were so much well connected with the various social media platform as well as those talking modules through which they were able to communicate it to the other units. That's why many of the information was hidden. That's why there was a need to carry out a search at a simultaneous level at various states, so that all these units cannot hide information which can be very crucial for the agencies.
Now, following these raids, there's unfortunately been a very predictable whataboutery on the part of different politicians across parties, and now the National Conference is weighed in with its leader, Bashir Ahmed, calling these raids vindictive politics as well as accusing the agencies of adopting a selective approach. He says that why RSS people have not yet been raided on the part of the same authorities and why only one particular community or a section is being targeted. Let's listen to what he said.
विजिलेंस वाले हैं वो करते हैं, लेकिन इसमें ज़्यादा जो है वो पॉलिटिकल विंडिक्टिव नेचर से के रेड हैं ये। सतपाल जो हमारे गवर्नर थे, गवर्नर महोदय, उन्होंने अपने एक इंटरव्यू में एक दफ़ा नहीं बहुत दफ़ा कहा कि मुझे जम्मू कश्मीर में जब मैं गवर्नर था तो मुझे 2 फाइलें करने के लिए 300 करोड़ रुपए की ऑफ़र थी, और उसमें बाज़ाब्ता नाम लिया कि आरएसएस का एक बंदा था और एक ऑफिसर था जिसका बाज़ाब्ता नाम लिया उन्होंने। तो आज तक ये लोग नहीं बता पाए कि उसके बाद क्या हुआ उनका, वहाँ रेड नहीं हुआ। लेकिन आज की डेट के ऊपर जिस तरह के रेड हो रहे हैं वो सेलेक्टिव हैं।
Now, amid this crackdown, PFI supporters have hit the streets in different parts of the country against these raids, and they've raised anti-NIA slogans, calling the action a case of vendetta. They also said that this is just a bid to frame PFI cadre.
ഈ റോഡ് ഉപരോധിക്കാൻ പോപ്പുലർ ഫ്രണ്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നവസാമൂഹിക പ്രസ്ഥാനമാണ്, ജനങ്ങൾക്ക് നന്മ ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രസ്ഥാനമാണ്, ജനങ്ങളുടെ മുഴുവൻ കാര്യങ്ങൾക്കും ഇടപെട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന പ്രസ്ഥാനമാണ് നന്മയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി. ആ പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തെ ആർഎസ്എസിന്റെ ചട്ടുകമായി പ്രവർത്തിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇവിടുത്തെ നീതിപീഠങ്ങളും നിയമങ്ങളും അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി സംസാരിക്കുവാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുമ്പോൾ, അവരുടെ താല്പര്യങ്ങളെ സംരക്ഷിക്കുവാൻ ഇവിടുത്തെ പോലീസുകാരുടെ നിയമങ്ങളും മറ്റ് സംവിധാനങ്ങളും മെനക്കെടുമ്പോൾ ഈ വിഷയത്തെ ഗവൺമെന്റിന്റെ മുന്നിൽ, അധികാരികളുടെ മുന്നിൽ എത്തിക്കുവാനുള്ള ഒരു വഴിയായിട്ട് മാത്രമാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഈ ഹൈവേ ഉപരോധം ഞങ്ങൾ തീരുമാനിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഒരിക്കലും ജനങ്ങളെ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടിക്കുക എന്നുള്ള താല്പര്യം ഞങ്ങൾക്കില്ല. കാരണം ജനങ്ങളെ സേവിക്കുക എന്നുള്ള ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുത്ത പ്രസ്ഥാനമാണ്. ജനങ്ങളെ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടിക്കാനല്ല ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഉദ്ദേശം. പക്ഷേ ഈ വിഷയം അധികാരികളുടെ കണ്ണ് തുറപ്പിക്കലാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ലക്ഷ്യം. കണ്ണുകൾ തുറന്നില്ല എങ്കിൽ കണ്ണുകൾ തുറക്കുന്നതുവരെയുള്ള വഴികൾ സ്വീകരിക്കാൻ കൃത്യമായി ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അജണ്ടകളുണ്ട്, തീരുമാനങ്ങളുണ്ട്.
They have not shown any particular proof for the raid. They have to show a summon or something, order copy which has been released by their higher officials to take conduct this raid. We have inquired our staff who was inside also. They also said the same. And after conclusion, they have not taken any just taken a simple one bundle. We got information from our staff that they have taken our pamphlets, our regular work activities, PRO brochures, public relation brochures, all those things only just they have taken it. And nothing else they have got any, no electronic gadgets or nothing has been recovered.
Why were you protesting?
That is our democratic right. We should condemn whenever any government agencies are being misguided.
So Aishwarya and Vivek Karandalam continue to join us on the broadcast because they've been covering these raids in the national capital as well as in the state of Kerala ever since they began at approximately 3 o'clock in the morning. Aishwarya, coming to you first, like we discussed earlier, there are 4 people specifically under the radar of the PFI in the national capital alone. This is of course a nationwide series of raids that have been carried out, but specifically in the national capital there is an allegation of terror funding against these 4 officials of the PFI with the likelihood of PMLA being slapped against them as well.